You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Nick Sturtevant. That was March Madness. We'll get back to that in just a second. That's happening all weekend as these opening rounds continue. Let's get to a story that we've been following all morning, especially since the 9 o'clock hour here on Live Impact News. London's Heathrow Airport closed all day after a fire at a nearby electrical substation late last night, which caused a power outage. This is a look. Cell phone video of that fire near London's Heathrow Airport. Wow, you see those flames in the air. That is some scary stuff right there. Well, the power was partially restored this afternoon. This is an update coming from NBC News. Energy company National Grid UK cautioned it was an interim solution. Now, the airport has urged passengers not to go there until it has reopened. It said it would reopen. The airport wouldn't reopen until at least 11:59 p.m. That's around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. our time here, and it's affecting more than 1,300 flights, hundreds of thousands of passengers, and it is causing a mess here or there in London. We have a few flights from Charlotte that are impacted. I want to go now to Mallory, who's a travel agent. Mallory, this is a mess out there in London. And I know you are working with stranded travelers. You are helping rebook flights. Talk to me, walk me through sort of what's been going on since this morning.
Absolutely. So it's just been kind of a madhouse. Travelers, clients of ours, have just been, some of them were in the air when this happened. And so they were either redirected back to their point of origin or they were directed to another airport, in which case we were, there to assist them and help figure out accommodations, alternative transportation, and then clients, of course, who were supposed to return home who couldn't make their flight, figuring out alternative accommodations for them as well to extend their stay in the area, alternative transportation and things like that as well, and continuing to walk clients through what that will look like in a few days as well when they begin filing claims on their travel insurance, hopefully, if they have that.
Travel agent. Mallory, what are some of the stories? I guess I'm sure there are some folks that are upset by this. They had trips planned, flying overseas is never cheap. Kind of
For
walk me through
sure.
some of those conversations.
For sure. And in most cases, obviously flying overseas is not cheap. But in most cases, the airlines are being very accommodating when it comes to refunds, free rebooking, and things like that, and getting them onto new flights. Of course, there's going to be a huge backlog from this in the days to come. But our clients who are in destination, of course, have been super patient, especially because they have a travel advisor on their side. So when they reach out to us, it's like having another sounding board and an additional voice of wisdom and advice so that they don't have to freak out in a moment like this. So it's just figuring out those things with them. One of my favorite stories is a client who's trapped over there right now, but she has reached out to her family to let them know, hey, I'm okay, and my travel agent is on it. So I've got a place to stay, I've got transportation, and we'll figure this out when I get home. So that is one of the better stories. And of course, people who are stranded over there who are maybe not so patient, or maybe they're missing things that they need to get back for. It's understandable that they're very frustrated.
And I'm sure the first question you're getting are, what are my options? So for folks in
Exactly.
this situation and maybe similar situations, because we're going into peak travel season, especially with the summer season right here. What
For
are
sure.
those options?
So as we go into peak spring, we're in and go continuing into peak spring break season, and we've got summer season right around the corner. The options you have when a flight is canceled, delayed, or something like this happens really vary by airline, but in most cases, airlines are pretty accommodating, especially the major ones, as far as free rebooking onto an alternative flight. Offering meal, transportation, and hotel vouchers in many cases. And they also will offer refunds in many cases as well. So as they work through that backlog on this particular instance, I'm sure we're going to see instances where they offer even already booked travelers on flights refunds and incentives to get off of that flight and open up that space for passengers needing to get home whose flight was canceled today.
Mallory, I guess, how do you balance keeping them calm and sort of walking a passenger through their options? Because I'm sure that's a tricky balance.
Oh, for sure. It definitely is, especially when you have the experience having been the traveler in those situations, you know what it feels like. And so you're already anxious, you're on edge. And if you've had a long flight like that and you're being rediverted somewhere else, you're probably hungry, tired, you haven't slept. There's a lot at play. And so my main role as their travel advisor in a situation like that is to start by calming them down and letting them know that I'm on their side. I'm here. I'm a voice of reason. And most of the time, just hearing a calm voice start the conversation is all they need to take a deep breath. And then we look for solutions from there. Knowing that they have somebody on their side that has slept, has eaten, and can think clearly in this situation to help them sort out solutions is really all they need to hear. Especially when the airports are crazy, they're loud, they're chaotic. The lines at the desks are a mile long, and they're just looking to have somebody to listen to them and feel heard.
Do airlines treat this as like a weather situation as far as compensation? I know with, like a few weeks ago, flying out of Newark back to Charlotte, my flight was canceled because of weather, and I was able to be compensated. Do airlines in this situation like this compensate like they would for weather?
We're seeing some refunds being offered as if this was a weather event, but it's still not clear exactly how this is going to shake out when it comes to filing those insurance claims later, how they're going to code and designate this just exactly yet.
Travel agents, thank you for your time, Mallory, as you help folks. I know folks are watching this live Impact News, and maybe they're not impacted by this certain flight, but there could be an incident where they could be impacted. So thank you for walking us through this and explaining this for us. Thank you, Mallory.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
That was Mallory Dumont, travel agent, walking us through how she's helping folks with this incident in London. Again, I want to recap. London Heathrow Airport has been forced to shut down for the entire day due to a massive fire at a nearby electrical substation late last night. It caused a power outage. I was reading some of the stuff from NBC News. Folks with heavy luggage walking through the airport in the dark. So you see those flames that we showed earlier. Definitely a scary situation there. The power was partially restored this afternoon. This is according to NBC News. And but the energy company there said this is an interim solution. And I just want to point out the airport won't reopen until at least 11:59 p.m. our time. That's about 9 o'clock. So again, this is a development story that we will continue to keep our eye on.